Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a man rapidly running out of storage space. It's too late. Random review is about to begin.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel. We're doing another review today. As I said in yesterday's video, I picked up 2 toys on my recent Walmart trip, and this is a very weird one for me to grab. This is Widowmaker. This is not only a Movieverse Studio Series toy, it's one that technically doesn't exist. I mean, obviously, it's on my review stage. It exists. But the character was scrapped from Age of Extinction because this was the original idea for Bumblebee's rival before it became Stinger. And frankly, Widowmaker makes for a way cooler rival than just Bumblebee but red. So we're going to take a look at this concept series figure and see how exactly it turned out. Because frankly, I don't know why it caught my interest. It just it was the right time, it was the right day, it was the right amount of money in my bank account. I decided, you know what, I will take a stab at a Movieverse figure, which traditionally have failed to impress me. But as we can see here, it is a lovely, lovely sports car mode. You will forgive me, I don't know cars and I forgot to look it up ahead of time. But it is an exceptionally nice sports car. You can absolutely tell it is a high-end luxury car. Yeah, love the orange color going on here too. That is making my camera's white balance freak out. I apologize for that. But this is exceptionally nice. I mean, orange is not a common Transformer color. It feels random and rare when we get a character known to be orange outside of your the occasional Scoop or Wedge or something. But no, this makes it strike out pretty unique, and I'm actually quite big on that. You got smoky translucent color for the window. We will get to translucent talk here in a bit. Of course we will. It's me. You get a little bit of paint to highlight the headlights, just to make them stand out and pop a little bit. They have some metallic element to them, so they shine nice and good. In the front, you can see a space for a license plate that is not there, but you do get paint on the grills, as well as the car emblem detailed on the top. You go around all the way to the back. You can see the rear has been fully painted. Yeah, and this is where I get to tell you, it's a McLaren. Thank you. Yes, I'm very proud of me too. Yeah, the rear section has been painted as well. You can see another spot for a license plate. Yeah, little sculpted details in there. A little bit of silver on top as well. Nice to actually throw that in. And then, of course, painted rims, which I'm happy to see. The Studio Series is actually pretty good about painted rims. Because I remember for a long stretch in Generations, that was really, really rare to get. It was like one of the Hasbro's favorite paint apps to skip. You gotta let a little bit of gunmetal in there, too. I like how the gunmetal does break up the orange pretty well. So, yeah, beyond that, you can see pretty dense as far as the content of the robot inside the car. Wheels have a decent spin to them. They're mushroom pegged in. They're not pinned, which would have been nice, but hey, she'll roll. She'll roll a decent little bit. Yeah, so not too bad all the way around. Now, normally this is where I would point out where you could mount weapons and such, but Movieverse Studio Series don't bother with that. I think this means we go straight into transforming her. I'm going to start by getting these panels opened up and raising them just a little bit. Now, you can forego this if you have good fingernails or thumbnails available to you. I just cut mine, actually. So we're going to do that to expose this lip here, right at the car's hood. And then I'm going to use that to open up the entirety of the top of the car, like so, and get the entire thing clamshelled open. After that, this actually gets pretty simple as far as movie toys go. I'm going to rotate the front forward to get it out of the way. I can go ahead and even tilt these to get it even farther out. The arms don't really peg in. They just kind of rested there until they were ready to come out. Alright, so with that out of the way, I'm going to fold those down to give the head room to fold out. It's going to untab from the back. And that tab right there is going to go into the back section of this toy. Right there, you hear that nice solid click to get that into position. With that in its place, you can go ahead and get the shoulders raised up, go where they need to be. There we go. And then come the fun part. So I'm going to go ahead and split the legs. It's a little bit terrifying because there's a lot of tabbed in spots all across all of this shell holding the whole thing together. So it's a little bit precarious, but trust me, like just one good yank and the whole thing comes apart. You should be okay. I am going to go ahead and remove the weapons, which are stored here inside the hollows of the legs. Now we're almost to the good part, but I want you to raise the arms up first and give these little panels here a rotate. They don't have a solid place to peg in once you actually get them unclipped from here and get them in position, but they do slide forward against the thigh, and if you kind of feel around for it, like there is a place where it kind of settles in. Like I said, it's not like a firm clip or anything. It's just there is a spot where like all the parts just seem to like harmonize, and that's, you know, just feels like that's right. It's usually when that little piece just barely lips over that orange edge. That's kind of the happy zone I have found. With that out of the way, we get to the fun bit. Ready for the fun bit? Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a Viacon, right? So smooth. We're going to take it over here again. I will give you a warning. This toy does have small translucent plastic hinges. They aren't like too tight though, so I'm not horribly worried about them. But it's a time will tell thing. So we'll do it again if my autofocus will correctly work. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 in like that. If you got it all together correctly, this will all like kind of shunt together like nice and firm. Like it will feel like friction held in. And that is going to be the transformation to the robot mode. So yeah, Widowmaker actually defied the part that usually gets me about these Studio Series Deluxes, or any Studio Series Movieverse toy for that matter. She does not get overcomplicated with the transformation. And I feel like that is in benefit to actually like the fact that she is not in the movies. So she doesn't have to adhere to anything. They just kind of make it work however they want. And they made her work like a Viacon. And that makes her far more efficient and fluid and fun to transform. You know, like all that little folding and flipping and just watching that car vanish into her legs is a really, really good trick. I like it a lot. Gonna take a close-up look at the head. You can see she probably would have fit in right along with the dreads. She has quite a few of them going on here. Just a little bit of orange spotting her face and then beady yellow eyes. Not a bad sculpt. Even if I'm not a big Movieverse aesthetic fan, I don't mind how that head looks. Also, a really neat detail is those dreads continue on to her back. This is a separate piece, so it's not going to interfere. In fact, that's where her ball joint is. So yeah, that's actually a clever little inclusion. That's the same spine that flipped her head into robot mode position. Gives her that long braided hair look without actually like giving you all these rubbery tendrils to take care of. Now, I want to point out that a lot of people see this robot mode and immediately cry Prime Knockout. Hey, look, this is proof that Prime Knockout could work. Hey, Hasbro, retool this into Knockout. Repaint it into Knockout. This toy is not going to make a good Knockout. I mean, aside from the fact that the rest of it doesn't really fit Knockout's design aesthetic, you know, like the door wing, like the doors are not on the forearms, for instance. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. But also, it isn't just the fact that, like, that is where the front fenders end up. Knockout also has, like, those fans that go through his shoulders. That is not possible in this situation and may not be possible in physical transformation. I think this is a step in the right direction, but I don't think this is it for those who think it is. Deco-wise, we have this really nice mix of gunmetal black. We have nice hits of orange here and there. A little bit of silver to break it up in a few spots as well. Gray feet, but I guess that makes them stand out a little bit more. But yeah, it works pretty well. It's a nice color balance. There's not too much going on. Even the sculpted detail is not too chaotic. It's easy to see what is what, and it's a nice overall look. I quite enjoy her. Even her bits of kibble. You know, like I do think the panels on the sides of the thighs actually work kind of well. I mean, it helps that these fit in snug and they don't really get in the way of anything. And then even these doors hanging off their shoulders like this doesn't really interfere with anything that her shoulders are doing articulation-wise. She wears it well, actually, and avoids traditional things like door wings while she's at it. It's a really nice look. Again, this toy is excelling at just having really good, unique looks to her, whether that is the orange coloring that she's got going on, the dreads that actually look nice, as opposed to the Transformers literally known as the Dreads and all their tendrils going on like they're the Predator. And then, yeah, like just, yeah, it stands out. Like the toy stands out a lot. Let's go into the articulation rundown. That is usually what we do next. Great range of articulation. Despite the odd positioning of the ball joint, she has a pretty good range in her neck. It's not 360 degrees, but it's enough to get most of the jobs done. You have a ball joint in the shoulder, which has full rotation. I wish mine was a little bit tighter. Left arm's good. Right arm, I could use a little bit tighter, but that's mileage may vary. You've got a bicep rotation in there as well, though that kind of fights sometimes with the ball joint in the shoulder, depending on position. You have 90-degree elbows, good to see. Nothing in the wrist. Unfortunately, nothing in the waist on this either. Yeah, I don't see why. I think this really could have had a waist joint if they really wanted it to. You do have ball joints in the hips, though. That has a great range of motion there. You've got the thigh rotation that works pretty well. You do have a knee bend, which is a little bit obstructed. Like I said, this normally doesn't get in the way of much, but you can actually pull it out in order to get the leg to a 90-degree bend, which that's a great little trick. So keep that in mind if you lose just that little bit of articulation. And then no ankle tilt. This isn't Generations where that's required, so they skipped it on this one. Now, granted, the sides of her feet are pretty big, so she doesn't really have to worry about it. You know, she stands pretty well. I say as I struggle to get her to stand up in this lunging about to attack pose that I have her in. She works, though. She definitely works. Yeah, aside from just a little bit of missing articulation, no real issue there either. Like, she's still functioning pretty good. Let's bring in the weapons, shall we? Because the weapons are interesting, and again, make me like her a lot more. So, these are going to clip in diagonally onto her forearm. The goal is to get that curve to line up with the curvature of her forearm, which, easier said than done. It takes a little bit of practice to figure out the right angle to attack it at, but not too difficult once you get the handle of it. And then you get these really cool wrist-mounted forearm cannons. I like these way better than like the arm busters that a lot of these Movieverse Transformers tend to go with. This feels a lot more natural. This feels more like your go-to when you've actually got, your built-in weaponry. This is nice. I like this a lot. And that, my friends, is going to be Widowmaker. Very surprising toy. So, outside of just the lack of a little bit of articulation here and there, I really don't have any issue with her. I was expecting something way more complicated because Studio Series Movieverse, but no, she's clean, she's efficient, she's intuitive, she's pulling tricks from one of the best transformations of all time. This is really surprisingly good, and really, it's a concept series. It's not like they have to appease the Widowmaker fans of the universe. It's actually just doing a good job because it's capable of doing a good job, and I really, really like that. The one issue I would have, she is at the new price point, so you're $27.99. She's a little bit more expensive, and for that, you do have to remember about these Movieverse toys. They are smaller and not as chunky as Generations figures, so keep that in mind. But also, this really does have like all the earmarks of a toy that you will eventually get for sale on Amazon or Walmart or something. She is a female character, and I hate to make that a thing, but female Transformers usually do end up on clearance at some point. And she's an unknown character. Since she wasn't in any of the live-action movies, she's not one that people are prone to care about unless you're a hardcore collector. But that said, that does mean that you might be able to swoop in on this one at some point, get it a little bit cheaper, and then you're going to have a really surprisingly good toy on your hands. I'm shocked that out of the two toys I picked up that day, Widowmaker's my favorite of the two. I did not expect that. It's a very pleasant surprise. So good on you, Hasbro. You made a Studio Series toy I don't regret purchasing. Bravo. So that'll do it for me today. If you do have the scratch, if you can't wait, I would actually recommend this toy heavily. She is a great little addition to a collection and a fun oddity that stands out for a lot of reasons. Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.